topics force and its types. If you want to change the position of the object, you applied an effort on that object. Suppose a book is lying on the table and you want to lift it, then you applied an effort on the book with the help of our hands or your hands. If you applied an effort on the book, then you can lift that book. It means it is clear an effort is necessary to apply on the book to lift the book, and this effort is known as the force. If you want to change the position of the object, then external force is needed to apply on it. If you do not apply any force on the object, then the position of the object cannot be changed. It means any object cannot change its position by its own. And the types of forces, the first one is the balanced force, and second one is the unbalanced force. Balanced force means if the resulting force acting on the body is zero, and this type of force is known as the balanced force. If you apply a balanced force on the object, the position of the object cannot be changed, but shape and size of the object will be changed. Suppose a balloon, when we push it on our hand or between two palms of our hand, then the shape of the balloon changes. When you press the balloon, force is applied by the hand. If you apply a force, and this force is known as the balanced force. If the balanced force is applied on the object, then its shape and size change, but positions cannot be changed. And for another example of balanced force, when the book is lying on the table, it is at rest. When it is at rest, then the gravitational force of the earth acting vertically downwards and a reaction force of the table on the book acting vertically upwards directions. And the force of gravity which is work on the book, its downward directions, and force of reactions, it works into upward directions. And the external force towards the right, and the force of friction between book and table towards the left. Since the book is still at rest, it means the force acting on the book cancel to each other, and the resultant force is zero. For example, this is an object lying on the table, and the force of gravity is work in downward directions, and force of reactions is acting in vertically upward directions. And the external force acts towards the right side, external force, and the reaction force is acting in opposite directions. Now you consider that force of frictions which acts between object and the surface on which object is placed. Force of friction. And force of friction and force due to the gravity cancel to each other, and the force of friction and the external force cancel to each other, then the resultant force acting on the object or body, it is zero. Total force F is equal to zero. And this type of force is known as the balanced force. And in balanced force, the total force acting on the body is not zero. Then this type of force is known as the unbalanced force. For examples, when we hold a book in our hand at some height from the ground, force of our hand is balanced by the force of gravity. If we want to release the book from our hand, the force of gravity is unbalanced, and due to this unbalanced force, the book is fall down. And unbalanced force, if you apply an unbalanced force on the object, then the position of the object changed. It means if the object is at rest, then its position changes, means it moves. And when it is moving, then you can apply unbalanced force. Now the motion of the object will be stopped. Hence, to change the position of the object, and unbalanced force is necessary. It also changes the shape and size of the object. And now we study about the Newton's law of motions. Newton studied about the motion of the object, and it gives the relationship between force and motions. And he gave 3 laws related to the motion of the bodies. Now we will discuss about the Newton's first law of motions. Newton's first law of motions. Newton's derived the formula which gives the relation between the force which is applied on the object and the motion of the object or body. Nowadays, or in early life or daily life, we see that when an object is moving, it will be continued in motions until when an external force is applied on them, or either, now you can see that when an object is at rest, it is until at rest when an external force is applied on them. If you does not apply an external force on the object, then if the object is at rest, it will be at rest, and when it is in motion, then it will be continued in motions. If you apply an external force, then the position of the object changes, means if an object is in moving conditions, if you apply an unbalanced force or external force, then the motion of the object will be stops, or you can stop the moving body, and you apply an external force on the object when it is at rest, then it moves. For example, you pedaling a bicycle, a bicycle is at rest, will remain at rest unless you pedal it. And a moving bicycle will continue to be in motions until when we apply a brakes on it. If you does not apply a brakes, after cover a certain distance, the cycle will be stopped. But how it is possible? Because a force of friction works between the tire and the road. And also you can apply the brake, you stop the motion of the bicycle. And it is clear according to Newton's first law of motions, a body at rest when an external force is applied on them, or a body in uniform motions will continue to be in motions with constant speed until when an external force is applied on it. External force means unbalanced force, and external unbalanced force is applied by an external agency. External agency means suppose you want to lift a book is at rest on a table. If you lift the book, we apply a force on our hands on the book. Then the external agency and the force is applied on the book is by hand. A ball is rolling on the ground and no frictional force is present between the ground and the ball, then the ball will never stop. But we see that the ball stops after traveling some distance. This is because of external force is applied by the ground on the ball. A friction force is acting between the surface of the ball and the ground. And it is clear from Newton's first law of motions. A body at rest will remain at rest until when an external unbalanced force is applied, and a body moving with a constant speed will continue to be in motions until when an external unbalanced force is applied on it. It means it is clear from Newton's first law of motions, or Newton's gave the law. If you applied an external unbalanced force by an external agency, then the position of the object or body can be changed. Means direction of motions. And Newton's first law of motions, it leads to an idea about the inertia, because any body cannot change its position by its own, and this property of body to resist any change in states is termed as inertia. Because until an external force does not apply on the body, then the body is at rest, remain at rest, and the body in uniform motions will be in motions. And Newton's first law points towards this property, inertia of a body, and hence Newton's first law of motion is also known as law of inertia. Also known as law of inertia. And law of inertia, it is measured by the mass of the object. Mass is the measure of the inertia. And how you can measure inertia by using mass? Suppose two objects A and B. The mass of object A is 20 kg and mass of object B is 60 kg. The mass of object B is greater than mass of object A after 20 minutes. Is equal to mass of object A 20 kg and mass of object B is 60 kg. Object B is heavier than the object A. If you want object A, and greater will be mass, and hence its inertia will also be greater. And mass m is equal to 20 kg. It means it has a lesser inertia as compared to object B. And the types of inertia. First, inertia of rest. First one is the inertia of rest. It is the tendency of a body to oppose any change in its state of rest. It means now you can say that the inability of a body to change its state of rest on its own. And now see with the help of an example. When a bus starts suddenly from rest, why the passengers tend to fall backwards? Because inertia of rest. When a bus starts suddenly, it brings the bus in motions, and the feet of the passenger will contact the floor of the bus. But the upper part of the body opposes this motion, and hence the passenger tends to fall backwards. And the second example of inertia of rest. When the branch of a tree is shaken, then some of the leaves fall down. Why? Because on shaking the branch of a tree, it comes in motion, but leaves of the tree in the state of rest, and hence leaves get separated from the tree and get fall down. And the second type of inertia is inertia of motions. Inertia of motions. And you know that if you does not apply any external force on the object, then the motion of the body or positions of the body cannot be changed. Hence, now you can say that the inability of a body to change its state on its own is known as the inertia of motions. And the example of inertia of motion is okay. Now we will discuss in the next classes inertia of motions and inertia of directions. And note the homework. Why passengers falls backwards when the bus suddenly start from rest?